A very good evening to all of you. Today we are doing psychiatry, the MCQs of psychiatry. Psychiatry is a very important subject because in this you can score a lot of questions, score of lot of marks. About 10 questions will be from psychiatry. In INICT about 5 to 7 questions and in NEET PG about 10 questions will be there. So let us begin with the first MCQ. Which of the following is not associated with dementia? A. Forgetfulness. B. Alteration of consciousness. C. Reduced personal care. D. Loss of neurons in brain. So what do you think is the correct answer here? Forgetfulness. Alteration of consciousness. B. C. Reduced personal care. D. Loss of neurons in brain. The correct option here is alteration of consciousness. Please listen carefully. There is impairment of judgment and impulse control, and also impairment of abstract thinking. There is, however, usually no impairment of consciousness in dementia. So, in dementia, there is no alteration of consciousness, whereas in delirium, there is alteration of consciousness. Now, characteristic of dementia is that it is chronic onset, no disturbance of consciousness, cognitive impairment, impaired memory, impaired judgment, absent diurnal variation. So it is chronic onset, no disturbance of consciousness, cognitive impairment, impaired memory, impaired judgment, and absent diurnal variation. Can you write in the chat box what are the characteristic of dementia that I have told just now, please? So let's move into the next question. Those who write in the chat box, their comments will be pinned. Which of the following is not associated with dementia that we have seen? So it is alteration of consciousness. Now next question. A well-dressed man came for feeling of woman trapped in man body. He is suffering from. You can see the man is well dressed. He is feeling that he is a woman trapped in man's body. He is suffering from gender identity disorder. Gender identity disorder. Now, this gender identity disorder is characterized by disturbance of gender identity. The sense of one's masculinity or femininity is disturbed. Gender identity disorder has following two characteristics. Number one, a strong and persistent cross-gender identification. Strong and persistent cross-gender identification. Repeatedly stated desire to be insistent that he or she is of other sex. Wearing the clothes of other sex, that is cross-dressing. Preference for cross-sex roles in place. Cross-sex roles in place. Preference for playmates of other sex. Preference for playmates of other sex. Persistent discomfort with his or her sex. Transsexualism. Characteristic of gender identity. Transsexualism. Most characteristic feature is that there is marked preoccupation with wish to get rid of one's genital and secondary sex character and to adopt the sex characteristic of other sex. Female transsexuals will request for hysterectomy or mastectomy. Then comes dual role transvestism. Dual role transvestism is characterized by wearing of clothes of opposite sex in order to enjoy the temporary experience of membership of opposite sex, but without any desire for a more permanent sex change. So there is no desire for permanent sex change. So the correct option here is gender identity disorder. Folie deux means A. Delusion of persecution. B. Sharing of delusion. C. Delusion of double. The correct answer here is folie deux means sharing of delusion. So polydiox means sharing of delusion. Polydiox is also known as shared psychotic disorder or symbiotic psychosis. It is characterized by sharing of delusion between two persons. There is a dominant person who induces delusion into other. So the correct answer here is sharing of delusion. REM sleep is associated with all. A. Dreams. B. Delta waves. C. Loss of muscle tone. D. Increased BP. This delta waves is seen in deep sleep. It is not seen in REM sleep. So the correct option here is delta waves. Delta waves. Stages of sleep divided into two phases. NREM sleep or slow wave sleep. It is called NREM sleep because no rapid eye movement is there. Then yes sleep or synchronized sleep or quiet sleep or orthodox sleep because there is diminished physiological function and low level of overall activity. So the correct option here is B, delta waves. Ataxia abasia is A. Conversion disorder, B. PTSD, C. Depression, D. Maniac. Ataxia abasia is a conversion disorder. The symptoms of ataxia abasia is conversion disorder. There will be sensory symptoms. Anesthesia and paresthesia are common, especially of extremities. All sensory modalities, pain, temperature, touch, proprioception are affected at the same level, and disturbance is not consistent to distribution of dermatomes. So the correct answer here is conversion disorder. Not used for erectile dysfunction is A. Beta blockers, B. Sildenafil, C. PGE, D. Pepaver. We all know pepaverin is used, sildenafil is used, PGE is used. It is beta blockers that are not used for erectile dysfunction. A student unable to deliver a speech before audience is suffering from A. Social phobia, B. OCD, C. Agoraphobia, D. Claustrophobia. It is social phobia. Suicide is most common in A. Depression, B. Alcohol dependence, C. Dementia, D. Schizophrenia. It is depression. Which of the following can cause delirium? A. Hypoxia, barbiturate, alcohol withdrawal. All of them. Correct option here is D. All of them. Pyromania. Pyromania means आग लगाना, set things on fire. The delusion which involves replacement of familiar person by someone else is Capgras syndrome. Code hand means the male is important to a particular woman. Pagophagia means eating the ice. Yeah. Doppelganger means feeling of double of oneself. What is contraindication for ECT? It is cerebral aneurysm. Which of the following is a delusion? Otello syndrome, De Clerambault syndrome, pyromania, D. None. It is Otello syndrome is a delusion. Child wakes up at night sweating, terrified, does not remember the episode. It is night terror. Flooding is a treatment modality used in A. Phobia, B. Depression, C. Mania, D. Schizophrenia. Flooding is used in phobia. Borderline personality disorder is A. Chronic feeling of emptiness, B. Unstable interpersonal relationship, C. Grandiosity, D. Self-esteem. It is chronic feeling. It is unstable interpersonal relationship. Indication of ECT are all except psychoanalysis was started with Sigmund Freud. Cotard syndrome has nihilistic delusions, persecutory delusions. All are features of Korsakoff syndrome except ataxia. Suspiciousness is a characteristic feature of paranoid personality disorder. All are symptoms of morphine withdrawal except fall in weight. In morphine withdrawal, there is rise in weight.